Like all generals, George Washington knew he would lose soldiers in battle. But during the infamous winter at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, some of Washington's men starved to death before his eyes. Others froze to death for want of an extra blanket. The death toll climbed at the rate of 10 men each day. Valley Forge became a high-stakes race against time, as Washington scrambled to provide for his soldiers before the next day exacted its 10 lives.
Washington comes in from the battles of Brandywine and Germantown with hundreds of wounded troops, some of whom are dying. At the same time, a typhus epidemic hits the area. There are no hospitals in Valley Forge.
Washington begs, borrows, buys, or commandeers what he needs. Eventually, he pulls together a primitive hospital system. But those lucky enough to avoid the hospital still face starvation.
Washington was told that the Army had 8 months' worth of food as he moved into Valley Forge. Then when they checked the day that the Army arrived, it turned out to be 8 days' worth of food.
At Valley Forge, so many horses had died that men yoked themselves into wagons in order to move supplies. Washington pressed Congress for action. Unless some great change takes place, he warned, this army must inevitably starve, dissolve, or disperse.
It's a letter in which there is no nuance. This is it. And he pushes everybody as hard as he can every single day to try and solve his problems, Band-Aid after Band-Aid, to try and get through the winter.
His efforts were all-consuming. In fact, Washington was the only officer who was always on the job. While others went home on furlough, Washington remained in camp with his men.
They see their captains, their majors, their colonels, and many of their generals begging for a chance to go home, begging for a chance to go back to their families, to be anywhere but at Valley Forge. There's one man who stays there with them, working and working and working to keep them alive, and that man is George Washington.
Spring brought a surge of optimism. France had entered the war on the side of America. At Valley Forge, food supplies were now plentiful. Washington's unflagging efforts had brought his men safely through the winter.
After Valley Forge, Washington's soldiers really came to love him and to be devoted to him as almost no other commander ever has been by his soldiers.